Today I'm going to show you how to create a tailor-made trip. So when you're on the home page of To Go, I want you to click on the upper left button called Trips. This will enable you to get to the trip builder. So it's just written here, and on the right side you see the list of all the previous itineraries that have been created by date. Okay, so today you can see that approximately 10 itineraries have been created by other travel agents. So to create a new trip, you have to click on the right button, New Trip, the plus. A pop-up will be launched, and you will have to type the name of the trip. So on a similar basis as for a sales project, you will type the name, the surname of the client, the amount of packs. So here this name is already existing, so I will use another one. Let's say Paolo X2. I wanted you here in travel agency to type the travel agency or the platform from where you have received the lead. So if it's a direct client, you will write B2C. So if it's an English speaking customers, you can click on B2C EN France. Well, the category, the code, and the type of quote, you don't have to change any of those information. The only thing I want you carefully to change is the date. So it's the departure date of the trip. So let's put 2019, and here select, for example, May the 1st. The second block isn't the place where you would put the end of the trip. This option gives you the possibility to type different dates. So if the client is asking for different dates for the departure, so let's say July the 1st as well, because he wants to check the prices for 2 different dates, then you would fill in the second or the third or more of the blocks. But in our case, in our example, it's just a single trip, so I will just click on the trash and just keep the first date on the 1st of May. So now I will click on the plus, and our itinerary has been created. Of course, at the moment it is empty, and if you have seen on the top, we have moved from the trips tab to product. So in this section we have the possibility to select all the different items, which are products, that we want to include in our trip. On the left side you will see all the items that I will select. So let's do a very short trip in Paris, for example. So first of all, the clients are arriving at the airport. So I will look for a transfer. So in this section you can choose the categories. So here we're looking for private transport. Now we're looking for the city Paris. So I will write Paris. And here you have a list of different services. Of course, once you get used to it, you will know exactly which one to use. So here I will check, so I want from Orly, because that's the airport where my clients are arriving, so I type Paris Orly, and here it goes. You have the third transfer is going from Paris to Orly. So I will do a right click, and I will now click on Insert in Day. To Go is asking me in which day I want to insert it. Automatically it is in the next day which is available, so in our case we haven't created any days yet, so it is the first day. So I just click on the plus, and on the left side you will see that this item has appeared. On the first night, let's imagine that our clients are very tired, so I just get them a nice accommodation. So I will look for hotel, and I will just keep Paris, and I will click on the plus. It looks like we have some small internet problem. No, it's working. Okay. So, as you can see, we have a list of 2 pages. So what I will do first is that I will click on level, so that I have the list per hotel category. And I want, let's say, a 4-star hotel. So let's select this one that I know, and I will put it on the first day. So I will click on insert in day. So again, I have just done a right click, and now I'm clicking on insert in day. So I'm waiting a few seconds, and now you see that to go is automatically asking if I should put it in day 2, but I need it in day 1. So what I will do is I will just change and write 1, and I click on plus, and you can see that on this day we have a transfer and a hotel. We'll do a very short program, so I will just do one more day just to show you how it works, but of course in most of the cases the trips are have a duration between 3 to 15 days. So I will just do the second day very quickly, and I will search for a excursion in Paris. So I want something private, so let's take this one. Private tour, 2 hours plus river cruise, looks good. Put it in day 2. Okay, and now I want them to sleep in the same hotel as in day 1. So I could either type the name of the hotel here. Of course I have to change the category. So hotel. So there are many hotels that have the letter M. This is why it's a bit difficult to find. But I will just look at the place. Okay, it might be a bit difficult to find like this. So what I will do, I will just click on the hotel, and I will copy it. Will copy paste it in day 2. So here I have done the right click, and I'm copy pasting it on day 2. And now, as you can see, the hotel has appeared on day 2 as well. So now I'm just looking for a last dinner that I've forgotten, and that I want to put in between the private tour and the hotel. So I will go back to excursion, and I will do dinner. Okay, and so here I'm looking at the dinner at the Moulin Rouge. So what I will do is that I will just grab it. So I'm clicking on my left button, sorry, and I'm taking it, and I will try to insert it in between the private tour and the hotel. You see? And now it is at the right place. If it's not at the right place, let's say that you have by mistake put it after the hotel, you can just click on the dinner with the right click and click on the button up. You can do the same and go down. You can also move it from day 2 to day 3 and back and forwards. So here I'm putting it again in the middle. So I will just keep the itinerary like this, because I just wanted to show you some move and how to place the items. And now we will go to the second part, which is the design. Okay? So in the design we have here the name of the client that we have written when we have created the itinerary. and just next to it there's a very important button where you can type the trip title. So this is the title that you want to give to the itinerary that the client will read. So here you could, for example, write unique experience in Paris, or anything else that sounds good to you. So my internet is very slow today, but usually it has to save it. Let's just forget about that for the moment, and let's see if it has saved it or not. The other options, I will get back to you directly, because they might be a bit more complicated, but they're not necessary for the creation of the itinerary. So now you will move to quotation, which is very important, and the entire page is blank at the moment. So I want you first always to click on the refresh button, and this will enable you to get more information. So here, don't be afraid, there are a lot of different infos. You don't need to be focused about everything. I just wanted to watch the margin type, which is normally set up automatically. So please refer to the sales practices and use the right margin for your type of clients. Watch the amount of clients that are written, so the number of packs traveling. So here we have 2 people traveling, and automatically it has selected 2. But if you have a different amount of packs traveling, please change it here. So you can write 4 and then click somewhere else on the page to save it. Okay, so be careful that it's really saved. So you need to basically correct the number and then click somewhere else. So now it is blocked. Okay. If you don't, and you don't click somewhere else, and you now do something different, it might disappear. Okay, so make sure that you click somewhere else on the page to save it. Anyway, you watch the margin type, you watch the amount of packs traveling, and now very important, you click on compare the prices versus the cost, and you click on quote. This will show you exactly the type of prices, so the purchasing prices, which are here, and in bold you have the selling prices. Okay, so here in this stage I don't want you to be too much concerned about the pricing, but you will see in the further advanced steps that you will need to carefully pay attention to be sure that there aren't big pricing mistakes. Okay. Something very important to understand in To-Go, so To-Go is always quoting per person. So the price that you have here, the selling price in bold, is per person. Okay, it is not a price for the whole trip. Every single person will have to pay that price. Now, To-Go is also giving you some very important information that you need to consider. You need to add an additional single price if you wish the clients to sleep in a single room. Okay, so if those clients want to sleep in a single room, or you will have a client traveling on his own, you will need to add 220 euros to that amount if you wish to have a single room. So this price is based in a half double room. Okay, so very important to understand. Also, next to the single additional cost, you see that you have a minus for triple, for quads, and for child. This means that if the clients are sharing a room for 3 people or 4 people, you will need to decrease the price that you would have here to the 878 euros. Same for the child. If you would have a third person, a child traveling with the Bello family, the child might have a reduction depending on the excursion that you have chosen. So pay attention as those information, because they're very, very important, and it is your duty to add or decrease those prices. Well, once you have checked and revised the price versus cost, you can now close the pop-up and move to the next page, which is the checks and print. So for the checks and print, I just wanted to pay attention at the right side, okay? So here, basically, the only thing that you have to do is to click on the orange button, quotation.